Hi friends, I am here to tell you why you should buy Swift Springs. If you have coilovers or if you don't have coilovers, that's okay. Swift Springs can probably help you in one way or another. Swift Springs, they've been around since the late 90s. Swift Springs started in Japan, but they are now located in California. Swift Springs, fudge. It's all your fault, Dylan, for all the shipping you're doing. It's losing my concentration. That's probably it. Why should you upgrade to Swift Springs? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Just look at the difference here. So if you're to buy a set of coilovers, this is what the out-of-the-box spring looks like. You know, it's fancy, whatever, it gets the job done. This is what the exact same variant of what Swift Springs would offer looks like. So as you can see, the Swift Spring does not have near as many coils as the out-of-the-box spring does. It also isn't as thick as the out-of-the-box springs are. So a few things into that and why it works out to your advantage. Swift Springs are lighter than the out-of-the-box coilover springs. Swift Springs also do not lose their rate or sag over time. So with this spring rate, these are for the VB WRX Silver's Neomax kit. They come out of the box with 10K springs. So both of these are 10K springs. They both have the same inner diameter. Like I said, it's you pull one out, put this in, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, done. When I'm talking about it not sagging or losing its rate over time, a lot of the times after these have been installed for years upon years upon years, this spring will actually shorten itself ever so slightly. The reason why that's not beneficial is that could run into a slew of issues that you could run into down the road. Also, so another thing about Swift Springs is that they are consistent in the spring rate throughout the entire stroke of the movement that the spring moves, right? So if the spring goes down to here, it's 10K. If the spring goes down to here, it's 10K. Other springs, out-of-the-box springs, they are not. So this gives you the most consistent feel in your coilover system, which is great for daily driving, for track use. Swift Springs is a nice upgrade even just for daily driving, just because it's that much better. In my years of doing coilovers with Subaru, Evos, DSMs, ride quality is paramount to me. Most folks that get upgraded coilovers are mainly getting them to lower the car ever so slightly and to have a better ride quality compared to your factory suspension system. The factory stuff works great. It's designed specifically for the car that it's on, of course. But if you are modifying your car, you're trying to get better performance, better handling out of it, this is just a surefire way of doing it. Right now, if you add Swifts to BC, Fortune, Silvers, any of those, it's around $400 for an upgraded set of Swift Springs on your coilovers. But that's also something that you can do down the road. You don't always have to do that first when you are buying your coilovers, just because, you know, coilovers are expensive. So adding that down the road will only enhance your ride quality with the car. So Swift offers an array of different size, different shape coilover springs. It's all based on the inner diameter of the spring, which you have to match up specifically so that you get the correct one that actually fits your coilovers, and the spring length. Swift offers springs, I believe, as low as 4K all the way up to something silly like 50K rates. Friends don't let friends put 50K springs on their cars if they want to not have back problems. Just kidding. Some people really dig it. People that do more stancy setups really go for the higher rates, just so if your wheel is that close to your fender, it literally will not move. Like you could hit this with a sledgehammer, it's not moving. The car could fall on it and it will not move. It is insane, the strength that is behind this. But you can also see quite the difference here in how thick a 50K spring is versus a 10K spring. So another thing that Swift offers, they offer lowering springs for cars as well. If you're still planning on using your factory shocks and struts, if you don't have the coin to splurge on a set of coilovers, that's also a very nice upgrade too. Swift Springs, their Spec R lowering springs has been a very popular lowering spring kit that we've sold for the Subaru platform, Lexus, Toyota, Mitsubishi, you name it, haul whole slew of different manufacturers. So they really do have something for virtually everyone. So next, we are going to go into a little bit more depth in the difference between these. So looking at the factory spring, this is about 12.75 millimeters thick on the factory. On the Swift, it's about 11.8 millimeters thick. That's also how Swift just simply works. Their stuff with the proprietary blend of metals that they use in their spring compounds, they don't have to have this many coils to achieve what they're doing. This spring, it's the same length as the out-of-the-box spring from the coilover kit, but in having less coils, being lighter, and also it's a prettier color, it does exactly what you're going to want it to do. And that's why we trust in Swift and everything that they offer. We're a stocking dealer for Swift. We have tons of Swift springs in stock, anywhere from silly 50K rates all the way down to small itty bitty helper springs. So if you have, like, say a set of Godspeed coilovers, or if you have like max speeding rods or True Heart or whatever the brand may be, we will be able to match something up for you most likely. What we will need if you are interested in getting a set of Swift springs is the inner diameter of your spring and the spring length. Then from there, we'll be able to match something up. Now, one thing to also take into account is if you are wanting to upgrade to Swift springs and you're wanting to change your rate, generally with most coilover manufacturers, you can go up or down 2K in rates. So like say our VBWRX, for example, it comes out of the box with 10K rates. With the valving that those shocks have out of the box, you can go up to a 12 or down to an 8 and not necessarily have to worry too much about changing the valving for that. Keeping that in mind, if your car is valved for a 10K rate and you want to put 50K rates on it, that just won't work. I mean, you could install it, sure, but it's not going to ride great and it's not going to do what you need out of the car. So keeping that in mind, adding Swifts, there's just really no downside to it. It's not super expensive for what you're getting, and all it's going to do is just enhance every single thing about the handling, ride quality, and performance of your car, whether if it's on coilovers or even if you do something like the Swift lowering springs. So we are here with none other than Dylan, the guy that I yell at every time in every one of these videos. Dylan does a lot of our shipping stuff. He's been around here for a while, so he's going to be our eye candy for this specific segment of this, next to the Swift springs. So remember when I said that these out-of-the-box springs are more heavy than the Swift springs itself. So this out-of-the-box spring weighs 3.5 pounds, right? Well, what's your guess, Dylan? How much do you think this Swift spring weighs? Here, touch it, throw it up in the air a little bit. Yeah, you know, can you compress it? No, you can't. No, sadly not. I can, but you can't. You stick the shipping box. So the out-of-the-box spring was 3.5 pounds. This one, 2.5 pounds. You get a whole pound less on the spring. Another reason to get Swift springs. So, well, Dylan, are you going to buy Swift?
Maybe.
Yeah. He has an F-150. I don't know if they have anything, but all right, friends. So as you can see here, our car is upfitted with the fancy Silver's NeoMax two-way adjustable coilovers, and we actually elected to do the Swift springs on our own shop car as well. This car is equipped with the 10K rate, so same as the out-of-the-box rate for comfort. Again, just to reiterate why Swift springs is a great upgrade. You get a higher performing spring, it's lighter weight, has a more consistent rate throughout the entire stroke of the suspension movement, and you're supporting Swift springs, which is great because they support the industry in multiple different sectors, whether it's lowering springs, metric coilover springs, you name it. So that being said, if anyone is looking for Swift springs, shoot me a message on the website and I'd be happy to get you taken care of. Thanks for watching.